to the next episode of the Cooking with Carter equipment series. I'm DJ Carter. Glad to have you with us today. I'm going to feature a couple more pieces of equipment for you. The first one I want to show you just before I get into anything is my actual Presto knife sharpener. This is a diamond cut knife sharpener, and I find that electric knife sharpeners are much easier to work with than the manual ones. Well, one, because of my coordination, and two, it takes a lot less time. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually flip this in its on position, and I'm going to let you hear it run. Okay, that's what it sounds like when it's on. Okay, it's actually pretty quiet. It doesn't make a lot of noise. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Now you're going to notice on this, and I'm going to turn it towards me so that I can actually dictate it and see what I'm doing. Okay, what we've got is we've got two slots here. We have a 1 on the my left side and a 2 on my right side. You've got two slots individually in each on each side. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my large knife. This is another piece of equipment that I'm going to show. These are my basic cutlery knives that I use. I have a whole set, okay, and I'm going to go over these in just a second, but I want to show you how the knife sharpener works. I'm going to lay the knife down, okay, and I'm going to turn the knife sharpener on. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the side of the 1. And what you want to do is slide it down, and you're going to hear it kind of sound like it's cutting. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Now what this is doing is this is refining the edge, so we're going to do it again. That refines the edge and makes the edge very, very, very sharp. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to buff this edge out on the other side. With the 2. Do it again. And I buff it out a 3rd time. Okay, now I don't know about you, but to me that looks pretty sharp. Now of course I use these almost every day on Cooking with Carter, so that is how the knife sharpener works. Okay, I'm going to turn the knife sharpener off. Couple things about the knife sharpener. You can sharpen serrated knives with the knife sharpener, but you want to put them in with the dull edge facing down. You don't want the sharp points facing in, because it will what it does when it sharpens the knife, it basically it shortens that sharp edge on the serrated side. What I'm talking about, to show my serrated knife, you want to put them in with the sharp side, the angle side. See how this side is smooth? If I turn it over, this side shows the points. You don't want to put it with the points facing out. You want to put them with the points facing in along the smooth side edge. I don't sharpen bread knives very well. This is my bread knife. And this is used for cutting any kind of bread, or, I mean, you can basically use this for anything, but this basically goes through bread like butter. Okay, so that's my bread knife. This is the manual sharpener that I was talking about, and basically what you do, and I'm going to use here. Now again, I'm not. I'm going to take a knife that hasn't. I'm going to take my next size. Okay, this is a smaller version and a thinner version of my large utility knife. And all you're going to do is basically go across, and you continue to work your way down. Now you can also go this way, but what you want to do is you want to do it in one continuous movement. Okay, and again, this is the manual sharpener. This is a paring knife. These are very sharp, very small, as you can see. You can peel potatoes. You can actually fillet fish with this. You can score green peppers. You can unskin tomatoes. It is fantastic for all sorts of jobs. This is one of my favorite knives in the set because some people have problems with longer knives. Some people can control better with their cuts from shorter knives. This one gives you a lot of durability and still has the sharpness of what an actual a utility knife is, and it's an all-purpose knife. This is another one of those, just different sizes that you can use. Okay, these are, of course, your basic kitchen scissors. You do not sharpen scissors in the knife sharpener only because they are not laid flat. If this was broken and it was a straight flat blade, then yes, you could do that. But because it's together, it does not get an even score on the blade and sharpen it properly. These cut twine. These can cut through chicken fat, things that you want to trim up your meat with, your steaks, things like that. So those are your kitchen scissors. And these basically are your standardized steak knives. You can cut steak, chicken, anything with them, but they're designed as your silverware set. So it's just, that's how that works. I mean, it's a standardized knife set. But what I want to show you, and a lot of the questions I get, how do I determine what knife set to get? And I'll tell you, honestly, from this block right here. Okay, this block, number one, is solid. I believe that this is oak. It may be cherry. I'm not 100% sure, but the weight of this, and just listen, that's a very heavy, well-made block. I like wooden blocks, but I mean, and you can get knife sets like that. I paid about $39 to $45 for this when I got it. As far as, things are concerned, it's built well, it holds all your knives, and it goes, quite a long way. So that, it all depends on, you want to look at how many knives you're getting in the set, you want to look at, what it entails, and how well built is the block. This block is very stable. I can take my hand and I can move this block around. It does slide. Very simple. On a non-stick surface, it'll slide quite easily. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back in, and that's the end of the knife segment. When I come back, I'm going to show you my large knife segment, our knife set that I have for cleaning animals and butchering rabbits with. We'll be right back on the Cooking with Carter equipment series. Alright, welcome back. For our second piece of equipment that I have today, I just want to mention a little bit about it. This was left to me by my uncle, who just passed away in January this year. This is his knife set from the Army. My uncle was a chef in the Army, and he also showed rabbits and was a hunter. He was very good at what he did. So what I want to show to you today is his actual set that he left to me. Now, I'm not sure if this is a full set or not, but this is what I have, and this is what was left to me. But this first knife is, you notice, if you take a look, it's a curved blade. And from what I understand this knife to be, it's kind of like, almost like the machete in the jungle that you would see, but it's a shorter version, and it's able to hack through to skin animals quite well. Actually, it's for getting meat off the bone, that kind of thing. You can also use it for cutlery. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little long and a little curved. It's very sharp, and as you can see, it's a well-made knife. It's 32 by 12. It's 12 inches long. It's a 12-inch blade, and you can see the dimensions on it written right down here. I don't know if we need to zoom up to a close-up on that or not, but if we do, we'll come up to that.
Let's see if we can get that. Yeah.
All right. So that is the curved knife. That's actually my favorite knife in the set. I always feel like kind of Crocodile Dundee when I do that. You know that's a knife. You know, you come out with something like that. This knife next here is your standard cutlery knife. It's kind of like the one I have in the block that I just showed before we went to break. This one is a little bit bigger though, and a little bit thicker than the one that's in the block. So this one is the one for, you know, chopping onions and potatoes and that kind of thing. So it's an all-purpose, you know, utility knife. This one is a shorter version of the first knife that I showed. It has that same curved blade, just like you saw before. This one, unfortunately, does not have the dimensions on it, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. Marshall, if you'll pan over to the left and show the knife that's laying on here. What I'm going to do, just to show you, it's about, I would say that this is either a 7 or an 8-inch blade. It may be a 6. I can't actually quite tell because of how the handles are shaped, but I would say it's either a 7 or an 8, a 6, 7, or an 8. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's the same knife as the other, just a shorter version, and it does the same that we talked about earlier. This knife here is a second. It's a second utility knife. This is. I love these because they're basically all-purpose, and you can do basically anything with them, from cutting to shearing to chopping to all of that. And it's if you take a look at the very tip of the blade, it actually, you can see where it's bent just a little bit. So this has gotten quite a lot of use from my uncle. He used these you know, almost every day in the Army, so he got quite a bit of use out of them. You can see the actual case has several different compartments for different knives. So I know I don't know if it's a full set. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I could put other knives in there, and just the good thing about it is that you can carry it around. So what I like to do is I want to go ahead and put these away. That is actually the hard part, because it depends on where you want to put it and how you want to put it. Just slide this over. Now the cool part about this, fold this over. This yet again. Roll this yet again. And what I like about it, you can actually do it this way too. You just bring this in. Okay, what I'm going to do is tie this on camera. The straps super strong. And then what I do, once it's tied, I roll it just like this and slide it over the side. Now it can either sit on the flat surface or you can turn it all the way over, and you notice how the roll kind of sits on itself right there. And that is basically that knife set. And we'll be right back, and we'll show you the last piece of equipment we're going to use today. Alright, and we're back. We want to show our last piece of equipment. Now, I am going to use a brand name here, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for that, but this is what this system is. The system is called the Ninja. It basically is used for pretty much everything in the kitchen as far as cutting is concerned, blending, slicing, dicing. It does pretty much everything. Can make smoothies, sauces, help with salads. It's a fantastic little piece of machinery. So what I want to start out with is actually the pitcher, or the holding container. It is pretty decent. I mean, it has your measurements on the side from milliliters, liters, cups, ounces. It's really fantastic as far as you can put anything in here. It's super easy to clean, just warm soap and water. It is dishwasher safe. Okay, so that is the holding container. Next, I want to mention the bottom stainless steel blades. These are very sharp. These are also dishwasher safe. You want to take them out of the container before you do that. This first locking blade, now I've worked with this for quite a while, so I'm used to holding it. This second blade, which is the top spinning blade, you can see there how they're curved. What I'm going to do is I'm going to manually slide this in, and you can see when it's facing toward me, it's unlocked. Okay, this allows me to slide it back and forth. When I face it away from me, I'm pulling on it, and it is actually locked into place, so it doesn't spin away. So now that the two blades are locked in their standard positions, this is the locking position. I want to show that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the cup, or the container for the holding container, and set this inside, and it just sits inside just like this, and you can see where it would spin. Okay, now this actually, when I first got it, kind of freaked me out a little bit. This little thing here, the top, the way that you can see, this is the upside down, and you can see because the ring is facing up. What you want is you want the ring to face down, and you'll notice that there's a little indentation as to where this little lip has to meet. So what you do is you want to fit the indentation in, and it locks into place just like that, and you can see that it's securely into place. Okay, this little piece here will open up if you're making a drink or anything like that. You can lock it into place there, and you can see where the part of the blade that's sticking up is for this right here, which is the power base. Always keep your power base sitting up. Do not lay it on its side, because what will happen is it will roll. Now, being plugged in, the cord's going to stop it, but I don't like it to have it sitting like that. This do not put in the dishwasher. This wipe with a damp cloth, because if you put this in the dishwasher, you won't have a Ninja anymore, and you won't be making anything but a very large mess. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing with the power base, and you'll notice that the power base also has an indentation. Okay, and what I do is, if you're unable to find that indentation, the blade will spin, and it'll lock into place. Now, I want to show you, without the food in there, what this looks like when it spins. Now, look how fast those blades actually spin. So you can see, this is a pulse. This is a hold. You put a finger in there, you will not have a finger anymore. So, the food goes in after the blades. Okay? You do not put your food in first. You take your lead off, you put your blades in, make sure that they're together and in the locking position. You also put your food in, put your top back on, and put your motor on, and you can either pulse or you can hold it down to mix and blend. Now, you can use one blade if you want to. You don't have to use both of them. It will not work as well because you really want to use both, because it's not going to sit properly. But you could manually, if you really wanted to take the time, you could manually use a blade and spin it in there. You wouldn't get much results, but you could do it. I don't know why you would do it, but you could. So that is going to conclude this second episode of the Carter Equipment Series. Be sure to email me any questions or concerns that you have at carterdj85@gmail.com. We'd like to thank you for tuning in, where the meals we make are worth the wait, and we'll see you next week on Cooking with Carter. Bye-bye now.